How you doing, Gemini? Go ahead and get right into this with the Celtic Cross. Pulled your energy card earlier for the Magician. Five of Pentacles. Loss. Could be a divorce. Feeling left out in the cold. Rejected. Messages for Gemini that will help them onto their highest path. Messages that they should know that will help them onto their highest path. Interesting. Crosses you. It's needing to be feeling. Scheiße. Oh. I don't know. This fell on the floor upside down. Maybe I should read it right side up and upside down when it comes. Death, we're on its side for now. Your first card out is pretty much your significator. It's the most strongest card. It's the energy of the whole reading. And you're feeling rejected right now, left behind. What crosses you is needing to feel victorious, need to be seen as victorious by other people. Interesting. Why do you're feeling rejected, and the main issue to you is needing to be seen as victorious by other people. So I feel like this is, you're feeling left out in the cold and rejected. And the main reason is because you need to be seen as victorious by other people. Are you staying in a situation that you are afraid to leave, even though it makes you feel rejected, because you don't want to be seen as like a failure if a relationship or marriage didn't work out? Possibly. So you reject a situation, even though you feel, because you feel rejected, and even though it hurts you, you have to save face by not sticking around. But whichever it is, you're trying to keep a brave face, trying to put on a mask like it's not bothering you, it's not an issue. You're on top of things, you got everything worked out, but underneath you feel completely rejected. But that's not the face that you're showing. Your foundation is the High Priestess. So the High Priestess could be a Pisces. This is a keeper of secrets. This is a high priestess, a practitioner. The high priestess sees all, but doesn't speak. This is crazy what kind of noises that my neighbors quell up sometimes. Nobody's dying, I promise you, but this could be secrets that are being kept. The foundation is secrets. The foundation could be people who don't communicate, people who don't speak, people who are observing the other and not communicating much, who keep secrets. And that's the foundation, is a lack of communications. It's secrets, but now your past is the moon. Now, if it fell on the floor in reversed, I feel like secrets have came out. If it's upright, it's secrets that are being kept. But I feel like you're aware of these secrets, and that's why you feel a loss and you feel rejected. And you feel like you need a safe face, and by no longer engaging with this person anymore, your goals, your conscious awareness, the best that can be accomplished at present. Page of Swords. Being observant. This can be somebody who is thinking, who is planning, who is watching, who is observing. Now, the Page of Swords is the scout that goes out before the battalion in war, and he oversees the terrain. He usually runs by himself and in secret, so he needs to be stealthy, and he brings back to the battalion, you know, all of everything that he observed, how many men, if he saw, you know, so they have to be observant. This is a planner. This is, you know, someone who thinks critically, who is observant. And you want to be very observant of the people who are within your energy. I feel like there was somebody in the past who needed to feel like the winner out of this situation, who always needed to win out of every argument and situation that there was. And it wasn't even a discussion as to when an issue came up. It was always like they were on the right, and that's just the way it is. And, you know, they could do what they want. They don't have to discuss anything. They don't have to speak or discuss with you, but it's not like that the other way around. The other way around, let's say you're not afforded the same treatment or expectations that this person has on you, and they're expected to do whatever they want. This can be a person who kind of abuses their power, who can be quite arrogant and egoistic, or someone who is quite insecure, who looks at every situation like there's a winner and there's a loser, and they always have to be a winner. Now, your future, what is just before you, you're walking away. If you deal with this person again, it's going to be the same attitude, because this is their state of being, that maybe even there is a a power dynamic or a power play where you guys constantly try to win over the other, and instead of a relationship or a business partnership or friendship, this is like frenemies, or like, you know, people who are married unhappily, or, you know, a suspicious boss with their employee who they don't really like, and they want to catch him on anything to try to get rid of him and, you know, like push him out. And I see a lot of competition here. Now, you're trying to juggle a lot of things. You can be kind of overwhelmed, trying to juggle work and home life, maybe a lot of responsibilities and balls in the air, and you're just trying to hold it all together. Perhaps you have a lot of responsibilities that you have to attend to, and this isn't something that you want to deal with. Like, you win by walking away and staying focused on what you need to do in your work, because this isn't a winning battle when it comes to this person. This person always needs to be the winner, and if not, then they're not playing, and they will force you to comply by possibly punishing you somehow, or leaving, you know, and not picking up the phone, or giving you some silent treatment or stonewall, or, you know, and so you're just affording them the same kind of treatment back to them. Now you don't want to deal with it because you know now you perhaps felt like you were taken advantage of by a lot of people in the past, and there's like a weariness and a distrust. And so you feel that the only way to be victorious and win is by walking away and working on yourself and what you need to do. Your environment, Four of Cups, this is how they see you. You don't want it. You're not interested. They possibly think that, you know, they're the gift, you know, and thinking that, you know, I see a big ego. Someone who thinks that you should feel lucky or something, and you still don't want it. Like, whatever, I can't make this person happy because they're just miserable. Even though very much like it's their behavior that kind of happens, you know. And perhaps in their view that they try to give you an opportunity to work with them by complying to everything that they said, you know, and you just are just difficult and you don't want to work with them, and you just don't want to, you know, and that's the reasoning in their mind, is that you're just difficult. Your hopes and fears of attaining the goal, the lesson to be learned, the Chariot, moving away from the situation completely. You know, to better waters, to calmer waters, to somewhere that's more fitting for you. Quiet! That one's... Sorry, that was my dog. That's really annoying. You want to move away from the situation. You're done with it. You're super annoyed, and I'm already kind of feeling it. Maybe this is what you're feeling right now. Is really freaking annoyed with the whole thing, and like all the stupidity that you have to deal with. It's so freaking annoying and stupid, and it seems like you've dealt with this multiple times. you know, with the same person, and it's like a number amount of the same kind of people that you meet. It's like these pig-headed, egotistical people who always need to win every second of the day, and they need to affirm their dominance by causing little dramas every day, all day. You know, and it's like freaking miserable, and you want to get it the hell away from this because, you know, you don't really need it. You got everything that you need on your own. Nine of Pentacles. You know, this is your outcome. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is single, but it's someone who is financially stable, who is independent, you know, who has everything that she needs. This is definitely, she's like the Empress, but without a partner. And, you know, and honestly, this looks a lot better than all of this BS and competition and fighting and lying and sabotaging and, you know, people with big egos. And it's because it's really fragile though too, you know. Maybe this person, this is their way of making themselves feel better by making other people feel like crap, you know, because with them, that's why there's always needs to be a winner and a loser, because maybe if they lost when they were younger, or they had a parent who always needed to win, and no matter how young the kid was, it was like, you know, ultra competitive, and, you know, like Mommy Dearest in the pool and trying to outswim Christina, and, you know, it's a little girl, and, you know, it's like they always have to win, and even if they have to set up the rules of the game into, regardless if it's unfair or not, you know. But that's the thing. If there always needs to be a winner or a loser with every little single thing, you're not going to have a peaceful life. And you definitely know this by your outcome is to be independent and, you know, strong and financially abundant on your own, taking care of your house and home by yourself, because whatever this influence in your life is, it wasn't anything that was good, because this looks like bullying, really. This looks like bullying. I don't know. Or vice versa, you could turn this around, but this is kind of like what I'm seeing. Maybe in some way, because you had a partner like this who always needed to compete with you, always put you down, you've tended to pick up some traits of the situation by trying to save face and trying to reclaim some of that self-respect by mirroring that same kind of attitudes now, and trying to get your power back by emulating the same negative cycle. But I don't know, because we've all have, you know, that, and it could be due to, and maybe it's like just staying within, like, needing to be the winner all of the time, or caring too much what other people think of you. And it's because there's some kind of inner insecurity that you always need to win over the situation, and that's why there is suspicion and secrecy, because you always need to be seen as the winner. And it's because there's a deep sense of insecurity within you, or like, and maybe this person makes you feel insecure, or this person is insecure of you, and that's how he treats you, and you guys, it becomes like a tit for tat situation, and it's always like throwing punches at each other. And, not even remembering which one threw the first punch, but it became like a habit, and it became like a general rule about how the relationship went, and it's not a very healthy dynamic. And dealing with the situation, it just became too much, especially dealing with all the other stuff, and you are ready to move away from it and manifest, and now it's going to make you a lot more aware of the people that come into your space and energy, because you don't want anyone else coming to your space kind of like trying to rule your life or rule over you, and to dominate you and oppress you. There are 3 of Wands waiting for your ships to come in, expecting better things, making plans for better things, and looking out into the horizon, making plans for better and expansion. Maybe you are expecting someone to come visit you, or expecting a message or a call, or you are just expecting to expand some kind of creative endeavor or business, or but you are looking to expand in your life, in your career, into your dreams and goals. And you are willing to be more observant of anyone that comes into your space, and you're not going to allow anyone else who has this kind of energy within it. And maybe this is something that you need to do, and if you are more careful, then you could get everything that you want with hope and optimism for the future, as long as you're more careful of who comes in. Serendipity. Be mindful. There is going to be a strange coincidence that will happen within your life. Your soul tribe. 8. This is infinity. This is karma. Some karmic situation. By design, by divine intervention, will steer you towards a soulmate, someone who is in your soul tribe from either within this life or the last. And it will be by some happy accident and some karmic design that you will meet your soul tribe. And right now, it's important to stay at peace within yourself and to develop your dreams and your goals and your creative endeavors. This is peace. This is the primordial egg. This is like the womb of, the great mother. And in it is the universe. This is a developing life, and it's like forming on the inside, and once it cracks, it'll be reborn into something brand new. And I feel like there is a evolution and a development that's happening within your life. And I feel like you have some soul tribes coming up, and you're going to meet them by some divine intervention. Somebody wants to come in, have peace, exchange gifts with you. It's be open. Yin energy is open, accepting, allowing, not doing. Let them come to you. Let them do for you and show you. If you are a divine feminine, and if they come into your space, let them do the interests and don't overwork for attention, and be mindful and aware of the people that come into your space, because, you know, all that glitters is not gold. And all because you have a past life soulmate coming up. Sometimes, you know, it's all karmic though. Sometimes it's not always for the positive. But it's good to be aware and accepting, and not only listening to words, but watching actions as to who you're really dealing with. And I feel like this progression is like a new superpower into being able to discern. That is like a new powers of observation and discernment. Something is fated. Very interesting. Be aware of who comes into your space, because right now you are in a development stage, and it's important to be protective of it and to nurture it. And if anyone wants to come into your space and partake of your time and energy, just pay attention to what they do and say. And it's important to let them speak, but also listen. And that's how you're gonna know who you're really dealing with, because not everybody is your friend. And you don't, since sometimes when you're trying to go down a soul path and you're kind of reaching your life path and your destiny point, or what you're meant to do within this lifetime, sometimes some darker energies will throw some speed bumps in the roads. And it's important not to be caught up by seeing things by your idea of them instead of the reality of them. Because you're building something of independence and peace, exchanging gifts, all that glitters, fate. Something is definitely fated for you. And somebody will come in and want to exchange gifts from you. Allow it to come in, but just be observant. You know, don't take anything at cost just because a reader told you, oh, well, this is your soulmate, blah, blah, blah. You know, it doesn't even matter, because those are the kinds of things that could throw you off and, you know, like throw you off and see things like the way that you want that to perceive it instead of what it actually is. But let me see what all this glitters is. I'm just curious. No place like home. All that glitters is no place like home. All that glitters isn't gold. Be appreciative of the things that you have. Don't think because somebody else has it or wants to offer it to you that that's going to be the ultimate happiness, because ultimate happiness is something that you could get within yourself. Look at that happiness. You have all the happiness you need. It's important to realize that, and as long as you realize that, people can't pull the wool over your eyes and make you believe that they could offer you something better if you truly understand that you have everything that you need at your fingertips and right now. because when people are fooled by manipulation, people offering false promises or, like grand gestures or future faking, a lot of times it's people who are not all that happy within their life, their current life right now, so it's easier to get caught up in the fantasy and hopes for something better than it is to stay in the reality that they feel like they're coming from lack. And if you realize that you have everything that you need, they can't be playing stuff like this with you, because people who are secure and happy within themselves have no problem cutting people off. Like the moment that you see something sneaky that happens, or they do. And it's about intuition, learning to listen to your intuition, not what you want to see, but what people show you, and listening to it. And know that if you trust your intuition and yourself, and you know that this person or nobody could give you the happiness that only you could give yourself, then no one could play these mental mind games with you and think they could offer you something better, as if you can't give that to yourself. Because when you look at it like that, they could never kind of live up to that anyway. And that's why we kind of are disappointed in situations and relationships, because we expect them to live up to this great expectation that, and the reality is never, the fantasy is never as good as the reality. And sometimes even if it's good, it's still a disappointment, because it's not as good as the fantasy. But nothing could be as good as the fantasy. You know what I mean? It's about seeing the gifts that you have right in front of you. And that's how you will heal and regenerate. You feel burnt out. And this is a rebirth period. And like the phoenix rising and blowing up into ashes and smoke and being born again from those ashes. And I feel like after you have this growth, and I see a huge amounts of growth, and your intuition is definitely deepening, and it will, as long as you are cognizant of all of the beautiful gifts that you have today. And be grateful and loving to the people around that who are deserving of it, and even the ones that aren't, but you could do that from afar for them, and with borders, because that's how you really love yourself and regenerate, is by putting up boundaries towards people who treat you like crap, and that shows the ultimate love within yourself. But that's what I got for you, Gemini. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment below if you feel moved to do so. And yeah, much love and light. Bye.